Welcome to Movie of the Year, the only podcast that has the science and the screaming to determine what the best movie is of any given year. This year, it's 1996, so throw on those pigtails, stay away from wood chippers, and don't tell me, because it hurts. Tonight, we're taking a break from watching movies to build the best gosh darn action figure team 1996 can handle. This is part 2. If you don't want to be confused, go to part 1, where for 90 minutes, we talk about our personal histories with action figures and then draft the first 2 rounds.
We recorded that?
I did, and I'm your host, Mike Gravano. That delightful laugh you heard was Greg.
Sorry for that lengthy digression where I said what the action figures were doing while I was having them do it.
No, we appreciated that.
Look, guys, look at what it can do.
Look what Kylo Ren is saying to Hawk from the G.I. Joes.
We know they're kissing.
Kylo Ren is
we
not
get
eligible. Yeah, they're still kissing, but look where they're kissing. We also have Ryan.
Please pay special attention to where they're kissing.
Where they're kissing. Ooh, in a car.
And the man who wants you to know that they're kissing is our pal from Debut Buddies, Nate.
That's me. I'm also kissing. Look at me. Look at me kissing. I'm doing it.
Nate's
Inventor
It's
of
where
the
I'm
one-man
kissing
kiss.
that matters.
Look, let's be honest. All life is remembering it's where you're kissing that matters. I'm going to do a real quick recap. If you want to know what the rules are and how we got here again, just go to last week's episode.
That's all you have to do is you just have to go back one episode.
It's one episode. One measly little episode. In the first round, Nate got the Crow from the Crow City of Angels as his ranger.
The sequel Crow.
And as his, I thought you said Krull, and then I just went down a rabbit hole in my brain.
Krull City of Angels?
I may
it.
have injected a little bit of an L into the word crow there. That may not have been you mishearing so much as me misspeaking.
Greg got as his bard Jerry Maguire from the little-known film Jerry Maguire. I got Frank Bannister, who needs no introduction, as my cleric. And Ryan got, also as his cleric, Jesse Custer from the comic book series Preacher.
Those are good clerics. Both of you did a good job on that.
One of us did a better job. I'm not going to say who. That's for the audience to decide. And us at the end of this. Then Ryan really biffed it and got the genie as his bard from Aladdin and the King of Thieves.
And he's also the sequel genie, but in this case, that also means he's the original genie.
He's once again,
It's
the once and
super
future Robin
confusing.
Williams. Then I got Captain Steve Hiller from Independence Day.
Welcome
as my
to
fighter.
Earl.
My name is Welcome to Earl. Greg, I think in the steal of the show so far, got Nancy Downs from The Craft.
That was the
as his
first
wizard.
time somebody drafted someone where it seemed like another person might draft that character.
And then, if Greg's remembering the times that Nate said, fuck, I wanted to choose that person, but that's fine. And then Nate rounded out that episode with Michael from the movie Michael as his cleric.
An angel.
All right. An angel.
He's
He's
an
a literal
archangel.
angel from- he's an angel from God.
What is his thing, though? Like, is he
Fucking.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he
Eating
friends
pie.
with God?
Those
Is he
are
like
separate.
God's right hand man? In the Bible, what is Michael?
He's like God's avenging angel, right?
Yeah.
Like he goes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he fucks people up on behalf
He does
of
the
God.
fighting because God's
He's like-
kingpin.
Yeah, he's like I think the angels like Michael come from like the older conception of God, where God is like sending out people like to rough you up and stuff like that. Yeah, kingpin.
It's almost like God has a
he's one of his
collection of
mooks.
action figures, and he's putting them all to battle.
interesting.
Yeah.
What if we're just, the stars are God's salt and he's just waiting to eat us?
Can I ask you
Can't
guys a
hardly
weird
wait.
question about the Aladdin sequels? Is the genie is free in them, right? Does he still have?
Free to hang out with Aladdin.
But so he just
Yeah.
hangs out with Aladdin. I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're his best friend.
And he wears his bracelets again because
Well,
he
for fashion.
doesn't look interesting as a character design without something to break up the blue of his arm.
Do you know how after the Civil War, slaves would still wear their shackles because they loved the fashion of it all?
If you watch any Tangled, or there's some Tangled sequels, not all of them, but some of them, that she just has her long hair again because that's sort of what she's known
pretty
for.
recognizable
Yeah.
that way.
Someday we're gonna have a podcast where we just go through all of the Disney sequels, and I'm gonna love it.
That's not a terrible idea for a podcast because they're all like the originals are all super well-known properties, but when you get to the sequels, only people who were kids at that time know anything about them.
For the most part, I will be reviewing the podcasts I listened to while my daughter watched those terrible, terrible sequels.
All right, we're gonna just jump right into it. Nate, it is once again your turn in the third round. Show us what you got.
It's time to go for Wizard, and I want to talk about a two-hearted British gentleman who uses science in a almost magical way. He knows so much about everything that they decided to make a movie in 1996, and his name is Doctor Who?
Doctor Who?
Doctor
Very
Who?
confusing.
They made a movie?
They did. Doctor
this
Who
the-
the movie came out in 1996.
Is this the first and only?
Theaters?
Yeah, I don't think they've ever made another movie.
Who is it, Nate? Who's the actor that plays the Doctor in this?
It's not anybody you know. Let me look. I'm finding it for you.
It's not
real
one of the
quick.
doctors
John
that matters. It's
Travolta.
Scarf Doctor? Spectacles Doctor? The Lady Doctor? Boo!
We
The-
hate you.
So doctors featured are Paul McGann is the lead in this. He's the 8th Doctor, and then Sylvester McCoy, the 7th Doctor, is in this
Okay.
movie as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
We all know what that means.
They do that sometimes. They're like, because of time travel, there are
Right.
2 doctors, and it's the last 2 actors to play it. There you go.
Who's alive
That's like-
and available?
Remember, right around this time, Star Trek came out with the movie Star Trek Generations, and then
Yeah, they
they're
did.
like, because of time travel, the captains from the last 2 Enterprise.
But that was awesome. We're fuck Doctor Who.
Honestly. Okay, Mike, the woman bashing was one thing, but fuck Doctor Who, now you've crossed the line. It's honestly the best fucking move for like producers or studio execs. Like, oh, you want a nickel more a year? New Doctor, please.
Yeah.
Like, just
Yeah.
get the fuck out of
Yeah.
it.
Regeneration time. Do you want to say anything into the camera before we kill your character and replace him with somebody else?
Now, Nate, as a someone who does not live in Whoville, what is I know he's got a phone booth, but like in the arena
And a screwdriver.
and a screwdriver.
Yeah. His sonic screwdriver is basically a magic wand that he can use to do just about anything. It can program a door. It can shoot a beam at a robot alien. It can do all sorts of shit.
See, Nate, shit, I promised I would not call you Nick.
We're
tonight.
already doing it.
We're not even on Superhero Social yet.
It's not
You have
even
to listen. Yeah, you have
Heartstopper
to listen
time.
to the full gamut of Pop Filter podcast to understand why Ryan just did that.
That's a continuation from a different podcast from 2 weeks ago. Nate, now you're on my page because pick people who can have either through magic or a weapon do anything. That's how you win the game.
I learned from last time I was on this. I picked Jessica Fletcher last time, and that was not a good choice.
From Murder She
With her
Wrote?
powerful typewriter.
What was her class?
I'm pretty sure she was my ranger. She always manages to get herself out of scrapes. She's very
Class
resilient.
act.
Oh, buddy. She is a class act. Greg, your turn.
All right. If you are going to be a cleric, you best speak to God. And a lot of priests speak to God, but how many of them have God speak back? How many are allowed to actually heal people through their actions and then finally, spoilers, be assumed bodily into heaven and become or manifest bells in the sky? I'm, of course, speaking of Bess McNeil from Breaking the Waves, who has a very personal relationship with God and has incredible healing powers to bring her
That's
husband
true.
back from the brink of death, basically.
And psychosis.
It takes a second, but what I love about if we get Michael from the movie Michael, Jesse Custer from the comic book Preacher, and Bess McNeil from Breaking the Waves. Sorry, Frank, you're not part of this. This is clerics who fuck. Is
Yeah.
what these people do.
Sex clerics. I mean, that's like that would be her domain, would be sex, right? Because she actually uses sex to heal her husband. Not sex that she or the viewer enjoys in any way, or really anybody, but that's what does the healing.
I also did not enjoy that sex. Is sex domain in the book?
It is
No,
not,
but it should be.
unfortunately. I would D&D
Let's do a homebrew.
could be a mite hornier for my
Rule
for
of
my
fun.
taste, to be
I think we
honest.
can
Yeah.
include it.
Now, typically in a draft, we all have clerics except for Greg. And so he didn't need to go with his one. But in this draft, it's not like tight end, right? because who you had planned for your cleric could have been taken in a different spot, right?
Right.
Oh yeah, for sure. Or it could have been like the property that your cleric's in could be taken from. Yeah.
He was worried one of us would choose a different character from Breaking the Waves.
I thought you might choose the doctor
Or the waves.
or the waves. Remember how they broke?
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Give me
sorry.
those bells.
Spoilers.
But no, yeah, Frank Bannister is going to watch a heavenly clerical fight here.
And him and the ghosts just eating
Each-
uncorporeal popcorn, enjoying what's happening. I'm going to choose my wizard because I am nervous because I only had 2 options and one was taken.
Right? Yeah, that gets scary.
Another, some might call her a witch. She has, I forget what it is, but she's the power of a beholder, maybe, or what are those? It's telekinesis. It's Matilda. I'm choosing Matilda for my wizard.
Sending a little girl to the battlefield.
I almost went with Matilda as my bard because she is a storyteller and she like literally uses stories to get herself out of scrapes and everything like that.
But yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I watched the movie, but it develops, right, from a little bit of control, a little bit of cupboard doing to basically anything she wants.
Yeah. It's
She
like
sends
the
a girl
most powerful
flying, right?
telekinesis you've ever seen.
Okay, Trump.
There's never been telekinesis like this before.
People are telling me.
Little known fact, Trump loves Roald Dahl.
Unfortunately, that makes too much sense.
Yeah, honestly, there's a couple short stories where I really think
Ooh, but you should have won. All right. Ryan, your turn.
I got to get my guy. I got to get the pop filter Hall of Famer in another movie that was booted out of the bracket despite being, like, I think a top 5 seed. I'm going to take my wizard here. And although personal experience with Mike and Greg, have played a character similar to him in D&D, I don't remember what I was. I don't think I was a wizard. But I'm going to take Bugs Bunny from the movie Space Jam.
Oh, not so. That is so fucking forgot about Space Jam. That's so good, man.
Silly Billy was a trickster domain cleric.
Trickster domain cleric.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So because his god was cartoon in nature, let's say. But I think that Bugs Bunny with his, I mean, maybe he has spells, but his ability to like conjure is what made me think of this here. Like his, he can throw holes. He can pull a mallet out of anything.
That guy throws holes.
You know,
because of his innate, I would call him a sorcerer. I'm not here to say it's a bad pick. It's a great pick. I'm just saying if we were going to get real nerdy on it.
Innate is sorcerer.
Here's the way in which he does remind me of a wizard is that when you play a wizard in a D&D campaign, you become like almost the DM light,
right?
Because you have access to like all the abilities in the spell book and everything, and that is kind of what Bugs Bunny does, right? He becomes like almost the animator,
the author of the cartoon,
as much as a character. So I think in that way it kind of works, and because he just does, he has like any spell is available to Bugs Bunny, and that's the wizard. Like the wizard can do any spell, and so I think that works in that way.
What does he come with here, Ryan? Does he come with a hole he can throw at anybody?
I mean, I don't love your obsession with his hole.
Yeah,
but that bunny throwing that hole.
Of that hole.
Describe the hole, would you? Is it how big are we talking?
The Bugs hole, or as Mike calls it, the bee hole. No, I'm gonna say this is. I just go to mallet. I just think it's so classic.
Yeah,
you know, and it's obviously not that. I wish that he could just have a bag in the toy that you buy at Target, a bag that all toys exist inside.
Yeah,
that's a bag of holding. It's a D&D
a bag
item.
of holding. Yes,
and that is what my character had. But we're gonna start with the mallet, but then once he gets into the arena, it's whatever's clever, baby.
Does he? Man, I'd like to think the action figure also comes with a dress and a wig.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
I can trick you into wanting to have sex with me.
You put it on that, and suddenly he's like the Lady Gremlin.
And when I say me, I mean Bugs Bunny, the fictional character that I picked, not me.
No, and I quote one Ryan Haley: "I can trick you into having sex with me." We are going to think about that on this, the quickest of breaks. And it's back to you, Ryan, and your 4th round pick.
Okay, so now that I do feel like that I have 3 gods on my team.
You have 3 fucking gods.
Now I'm going to go closer to my heart, right? It's time. It's Ryan time. And I'm going to go with a movie that I saw in theaters opening day, and I was so excited. Did not live up to the hype. But based on what I know about Ranger, which is you're here, you want to kill somebody over there.
It's going to take some range to do that.
You need a big weapon. And who has a bigger weapon? And I shit you not, this is his character's name, John Eraser from the movie Eraser, who comes with that big-ass gun that just fires CGI at whoever is in his way.
That's perfect. I love it. The rail gun.
The rail gun.
Here's the thing. Using the forces of magnetism, the rail gun is able to shoot a projectile that basically can go through anything. And so in Eraser, they have like the thermo goggles, and you're just sniping people like through multiple walls. And this became very like the movie Eraser went away and nobody thinks about it ever again. But for video games,
every first-person shooter,
the idea of this gun still exists in video games because it had a profound effect on all of us. Wait a minute, walls can't stop me from killing people? As an American, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my life.
Plus, imagine the potential here where you have the ability to rail through Bugs' holes to get to people.
And again, he means the portals and not the beehole.
Are we sure that's what he means?
Actually, no.
I don't even know anymore.
Who knows? Did Eraser invent the railgun?
It was my first, but like I don't know.
It's the first like. They're the ones who it's a real thing that like the Navy has. And so they're the first one. They were like, imagine that was small enough for Arnold Schwarzenegger to carry. But there are actual railguns that use like the principles of magnetism to fire pellets really far.
Just saying the principles of magnetism makes it so much cooler than a normal stupid exploding
then
gun.
like to say like we put a bunch of magnets in there.
Saw it once.
How do they work?
The only thing I remember is that he knows that he's supposed to be carrying this thing, but doesn't know what it is. And then he finds out, and then he uses it to defend it. Like,
Sure.
I can carry out my mission if I use this thing that I'm supposed to be carrying. And then he is at somewhere where he gets attacked by alligators, fucking rail guns the shit out of them, and says, your luggage.
Yeah.
That's it. That is the extent of my Eraser memory.
And that's more than most, including Arnold. I'm going to go with my bard, who was quite big in 1996. She cast so many Cyrus songs. She asked people questions like, are you happy now? I can't think of other questions, but she told people to don't speak, which feels like a bard's spell.
Is it Sunday morning?
She said, is it Sunday morning? She cast the webs of stories, a la spiders. It's Gwen Stefani from No Doubt, who had their biggest single and career maker, Don't Speak, release in 1996. Fight me.
No, I think it's a good choice. She uses songs to name and shame her ex-boyfriends who also might be in the band.
Who might be right next to her.
I'd hate to be that
Doing
guy.
backup.
Oh, it's that guy.
This is when she wore that little jewel in her head,
Yes.
which we thought it was like because she was like Vision, but it was actually cultural appropriation.
It was actually
We just
problematic.
didn't,
No, I
didn't
think it was
know
because
that
she
at
was
the
like
time.
Vision.
We didn't know
probably.
that either.
We thought it was an
Is
Infinity Stone.
Is this Bindi area? I think this might be pre-Bindi. I don't. Who knows?
Also low-rise jeans, but that was not appropriative. But it was appropriate.
Checkered pants.
Checkered past.
Checkered pants. Well, she hang out from Bradley from Sublime, so they're definitely probably checkered.
Lots of Bush, too, at that time. Right?
So
Gavin?
much, dude.
Excuse me?
Excuse us. This is probably pre that. She's still young, and the album just came out. You guys are collapsing her whole timeline.
You know what doesn't go great is low-rise jeans and lots of bush.
And lots of Bush, yeah. They come from very different eras.
Never the twain shall meet. And I'm going to say she comes with a microphone stand that she can like swing around her head and hit people.
I'm willing to give Mike a little bit of like Black Canary powers.
Yeah.
You know, like get into the arena
Thank
and
you.
just like sort of.
I think she should
Screen
come
people
with
away.
the accessories. She should come with her horns, but then she should use them less and less
Yeah.
over time. Replace them with electronic sounds.
And the two guys who weren't in the band but were with the band for years are like, guys?
What do we do during this song?
Are we going back to Beacon Street ever? No?
Has a solo career ever been more predictable than Gwen Stefani's at that time?
Man, yeah, I remember there was a lot of like in their music videos, there would be like 90% of it would be shots of her, and then the other 10% would be shots of all three guys, like off in the distance, kind of
Looking
looking
upset?
like, wait, what's going on?
Out of focus.
Yeah.
Knocking on a window.
It's basically the rest of the guys in the band is like when you find out that an e-girl has a boyfriend. Nobody wants to see that. You got to hide them far away.
But it's clear that they were where the magic happened because when she went solo, that shit sucked.
Oh, yeah, dude, seriously.
It was fine. It just wasn't up your ska
It wasn't
ass.
BANANAS, and I think a lot of us thought it would be.
There's a lot of pop I really enjoy.
Uh-huh.
It
And
was
other
bad.
than spelling my favorite fruit, I do not care.
It was bad. Listening to
Gwen
that
solo
album was like going to see The Phantom Menace. Like, at first you're like, and then by the middle of it, you're like, I think something bad has happened here.
All right. Up next, Greg.
Okay, let's see. I have two dudes, two positions to choose from, fighter or ranger. And you know what? I have fewer options for fighter, so I'm going to go with this before somebody scoops this person up. 1996, there was an action movie that came out that said, what if we made an android? And we programmed him to fight it using all these different styles. And we also programmed him to be and look very slightly like Michael Jordan. And the actor that plays him is the son of a famous action star. This movie is Solo, starring Mario Van Peebles as Solo.
That's a great name.
The best Van Peebles.
The best available Van Peebles at the time. And
What? I don't know anything about this movie.
you have
Michael. From the
Okay.
movie Michael. Go back and watch Solo.
This movie is bonkers. Yeah.
This is a bonkers movie. This is like basically a movie that was made to be sitting on the shelf in the action section of a
we
blockbuster
need filler.
video.
This is the kind of shit that Dolph Lundgren would pop out like 12 of them
Yes.
10 years earlier.
It's like you know you're going to rent an action movie, and why not this one? Solo.
Yeah. This is like Jean-Claude Van Damme passes on this script, and it ends up with Mario
Van
Van
Peebles?
Peebles.
They have rented out every copy of Universal Soldier, and your only option.
and this guy
is
was
Solo.
like, he wanted to be a filmmaker, and this is about the time where that where Posse came out.
Yeah.
Do you remember like the Black Young Guns? Like that was supposed to be a big deal. And they were just like, no, bro, we just want you in this and this alone.
And it gave him like nothing to do. Like, I mean, his dad had like a really big personality, and they kind of used that as like the center of both making the movie and like of the on the screen itself. You know, badass, what is it called, Ryan?
Sweetback's badass song.
Yes. But Solo gives Mario Van Peebles literally nothing to do. The character is a robot, and he's supposed to like basically just act robotic the entire time. So it did not cause his career to pop off.
It tested his range. But I mean, look, the whole Melvin and Mario Van Peebles thing is that you get to walk in a room and be like, look, do you want MVP on this movie or not?
Which is what that monkey said with the Matt LeBlanc movie. Was that? No, that's Eddie.
Come on,
It's
Ryan.
Eddie, you fucking
Get your Matt
hold
LeBlanc
on.
monkey movies straight.
That's Ed. Eddie is where Whoopi Goldberg is the coach of the Knicks.
Yeah.
Ed
Yes.
is where Matt LeBlanc plays baseball with a monkey.
and Ed
And
TV.
then what monkey movie are you talking about? Ed TV is Matthew McConaughey's
Yeah.
Truman Show.
Yeah, it's his Truman Show.
We're film historians.
I want to watch all these trash movies
Man,
instead of the really good movies we're
Each
watching.
one is all right.
No, honestly, dude, it is just like if we had an action figure draft right now where we would have a good time. We're like literally picking, and then when it came time to play, that's what watching these movies are like. It's
Yeah.
like, fuck this, dude.
Imagine 20 people have kind of some idea of what a movie should be like, and none of them really agree with each other.
Each one is the Juana man of its generation.
Snaps. Nate, what is your pick in this round?
I'm going to go for my fighter. So in 1996, a very important episode proved that Homer Simpson was capable of taking a heroic beating without ever falling down. So much so that it took a way over-leveled boss villain for him to finally meet his match by himself. So I'm going to put Homer from The Homer They Fall from Season 8 on my list as my fighter, because he's going to tank all those hits.
Okay, but yeah, right, because there's the two ways you could go with the fighter build. One is you do a lot of damage, and the other one is you absorb
It's a
lot of
taunter, right?
damage.
He's a taunter?
Yeah, basically,
Yeah.
yeah, and except like a big damage sponge, unless you're fighting, what's his name, Dredrick Tatum?
Right. And I'm assuming that with a party of 5, not the show, but with the current party of 5, he's going to be able to take some damage while damage is done to the Dredrick Tatum that we face.
But I mean, like, if I have the genie from every movie, then you have the Homer. Even though you picked a specific episode from 96, you have the Homer that took a cannonball to the gut.
That's
Like,
a good one.
Those are intended to kill.
But if he takes one more, isn't he going to die? So you can't watch out for cannonballs.
there's so many Simpson doctors that have said one more and you're gonna die.
Seriously.
Like, ignore them.
You can't listen
We're
to
gonna
the
believe those
Springfield
hacks?
Medical Establishment.
I'm pretty sure he has Three Stooges syndrome anyway, so he's invincible. It's fine.
Imagine he gets hit in the head so hard that crayon in his nose gets dislodged a little bit, and then you've got genius Homer, a lot like when the Hulk gets smart, right? That's dangerous.
Hulk
Professor
gets
Homer?
smart. Hulk gets strong. I mean, also too, if we're going by how I have Bugs Bunny, don't we sort of have it like Homer, where he does have the cartoon physics?
Oh, I think so, yeah.
So
Oh, yeah. He also can function like the Simpsons arcade game, where he can just like punch and whatever.
And he's got team attacks with the other Simpsons. Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
What was
Unfortunately,
his?
You can't draft
Fastball
those.
specials all over the place.
He and Marge would like form like a cannonball that would roll around.
I just remember Marge having a vacuum cleaner because that was the extent of her character development.
All right, that is this round. We're going to take the quickest of breaks, and when we come back, everybody's final pick. Nothing else mattered until right now.
These are triple points?
Nate, triple, quadruple, quintuple points. Nate, do that math and give us your bard.
All right. I'm going to go with one of the most important movie subjects of 1996. He's a tortured pianist. And he inspired, like, this movie inspired everyone to understand that someone who maybe accidentally casted Crown of Madness on themselves could be a meaningful bard for a generation. So I'm going for David Helfgott from the movie Shine, as portrayed by Jeffrey Rush.
Damn. Another movie that was not even considered for the bracket. Just like, get that shit out of here. But
Homer also calls him Shiny McShine when asked.
I'm going to put that on the dog.
Shiny McShine.
Does his action figure come with a piano?
Oh, yeah. He comes with a baby grand. He also comes with a lot of broken dreams. And, he's got a meteoric ability to rise, and then he falls to the point that I think at the end of the movie he's like a waiter that occasionally plays piano in a restaurant.
Ew.
Gross.
And that's it. Yeah. But he's
Waiter.
working for
Think of
tips.
anything worse.
Way to shine.
Greg, your ranger, please.
All right, I gotta go with a ranger. This one may be a little bit of a stretch, but there's two of them. They're both hunters. They're both very good with a hunting knife. They can dress their kills. It's the Scream Boys. The two little Scream Boys running around, hacking everybody up. They're like, every ranger has like an environment that they feel comfortable in. Theirs would be high school, I think. They're
Or
just
really fucking well-built suburban homes.
yeah, they're just kind of blending into the atmosphere and striking when the moment is appropriate. And they are both quite literally hunters.
Here's my pitch for the action figure. It's ghost face. You pull off the mask. It's Billy Loomis. You put on the mask. You pull it off the mask. It's
Oh, hell yeah.
Matthew Lillard. Stu. And it's like, because I had a Beetlejuice action figure that was like
That's
that. Where you could
awesome.
change its head back and forth when he did things.
I love that. I love it.
Could we do like one, like maybe this is for Comic-Con or something, where you pull it off and it's Henry Winkler?
Yeah, I would
course.
like that. I think
Yeah.
that would be fun. And then
The-
he
the
goes,
the special Comic-Con edition. That is very good. Also, I assume they come with a cell phone, an old clunky 90s cell phone.
Yeah, and they come with a voice
A blade.
changer that makes you sound like a different actor.
It's a good voice changer.
Sydney.
Not even our modern day voice changers.
Yeah, we don't
can
have the
get you into
technology
that
yet.
voice.
At least not for free.
My ranger is similar to Greg's in that is also violent and some call evil. Great fashion sense. Uses their tracking skills to evade police. Is a bit of a planner and is connected to nature in that he hates the supernatural, and his name is an animal gecko. It's Seth Gecko from Dusk Till Dawn. From Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah, I said that right.
That's another one. I don't know. The more time has gone by since we did not do it from Dusk Till Dawn, that's another one that I think there's like a... It doesn't sit right.
The more time that passes since we've done Mars Attacks makes me think that,
Yeah, there's going to feel like there's a big wide open spot. That movie was a little bit of a disappointment.
I love it, but From Dusk Till Dawn is a better movie.
This is George Clooney?
Yes.
George Clooney's, yeah.
George
With
Clooney.
neck tattoo.
With neck tattoo.
Hot, sexy George Clooney.
That neck tattoo, I mean, all four of us are saying right now that was like, am I gay? Do I fucking... Is this the hottest thing I've ever seen?
Yes.
I've also go with his best buddies, Brad Pitt, Rusty in Ocean's 11 with the hand tattoo creeping out of the sleeve.
Yeah.
I like the tattoo creeping out of the clothes for some reason.
Just a hint of danger.
Yeah.
There is an element to this movie, though, that will help clear up the "Are you gay?" issue for a gentleman, which is Salma Hayek.
Is Salma Hayek in this movie?
Salma Hayek is in this movie. I don't know if you're aware.
He
of
comes
that.
with the Salma Hayek.
Honestly, Mike,
Why
that would have been
didn't
a
I choose
better
her?
pick. This is your
That
ranger?
probably could have been my... Yeah, no, she wouldn't have been a ranger, but she could have been a good wizard or cleric.
The vampire with the snake?
Yeah, fuck.
I like how a character like Salma Hayek's like, she's sexy, but she's a vampire.
Oh,
For
no.
a dude like me, it's like, what's the but? I don't know, like, where is
Oh,
the...
I live forever with her? Oh, no.
So she's going to bite me? That's the goal.
I don't know what the butt is. Turn her around.
Ew, but this was 96, so of
Oh.
course they were probably trying to literally shoot around her butt. Like, ooh, gotta
Yeah.
keep that out of frame. People don't want to see that.
Little chubby.
Ryan. Or as we like to call you around
Little
here.
chubby.
Little chubby.
Yeah, I feel like we all set me up for that one.
There's nothing more honorable than seeing a joke someone else is going to make and then just saying the punchline.
Screaming it at light speed.
Not letting them have their timing. Like, he had a clear timing he wanted to go with on that, so you could just jump in there before it.
It's super great because it means that I'm a little fat and have a small wiener.
Yeah.
It's a fucking double
Great
whammy.
combo. Great combo. Nothing looks better for a small wiener than a bunch of fat right in the area.
Oh.
Makes me look like
we
a
laugh.
different character from a different movie with a Salma Hayek strip scene, the shit monster from Dogma. That's what I look like.
That is a different Salma Hayek movie with a strip
Yep.
scene. Wow, she's got a lot of range.
Which we all will now be able to watch once again.
Oh, I'm getting
Kevin
on
Spencer's
Blu-ray
got
for
the rights.
sure.
It used to be my favorite movie. Let's see if it holds up to modern, Mike. Bet it doesn't. Ryan, who's your fighter?
My fighter. I know ACAB, but ASAB? ASAB is not a thing. So I will pick Super Cop,
Salamanders?
a.k.a. Jackie Chan, who is going to go in and kick the living shit out of everybody I know. Will it be funny? Obviously.
Yeah.
Will there be bloopers in the arena? Clearly.
Yeah.
But I think that Jackie Chan is he's not like the dumb, like Hulk-like low IQ guy. But as a fighter, I think Jackie Chan's okay.
Oh, yeah, improvised weapons.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, he Drunken Monk?
To
depending on the
me,
movie?
he feels like a dexterity-based fighter, which is a definite
Yes.
thing, yeah.
Does that mean 2 hits per roll?
No, but it means that, like, his attacks use finesse and...
And cool stories that come with them, like jumping off walls and then landing on
Yeah.
you. And
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like
ladders.
pinball tables, and he's able to do like a flip around them, and then he kicks somebody. It's great.
And honestly, like entertaining. Like so many fighters are just like, I'm gonna punch you.
Yeah,
He's gonna make a show of it.
that's true.
Which is great in the arena. Are you not entertained?
Oh, yeah, dude. That's why people...
But it doesn't mean he's a super bastard.
I know, and that's something that my team is gonna have to deal with. And Jesse Custer's just gonna be like, don't be that, and then he can't.
I feel like in the Jackie Chan universe, though, cops are pretty okay.
It is a fantasy universe.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we are done.
Woo.
So one by one, I will say your name, and you will tell me your people and their position, and then we will slam our toys together and say who won. Nate, starting with you.
My wizard is Doctor Who. My ranger is the Crow from the Crow City of Angels. My bard is David Heathcott, a.k.a. Shiny McShine, ready to mop the floor with you. My fighter is Homer Simpson. And my cleric is the Archangel Michael.
From the movie Michael.
From the movie Michael.
I love the high armor, high health, low DPS fighter of Homer Simpson. Mo literally in that episode says, okay, punching's not your thing.
Yeah. After he shows him all the gloves.
Yeah.
I used to call this one the Stinger.
They don't let you
It's
use
wrapped
that no
in barbed
more.
wire.
Yeah.
And honestly, like whatever it's worth, I have played more. I've logged more video game hours as Homer Simpson than you probably have as a Zelda character.
That's
Like
probably true.
I have played him in so many video games.
Greg, who you got?
All right. My wizard is Nancy Downs, better known as Fruzabalk from The Craft. My ranger is, I guess, two rangers, the Scream Boys. They're kind of a package deal. My bard is Jerry Maguire. My fighter is Solo from the movie Solo. And then my cleric is Bess McNeil from the movie Breaking the Waves. Bess McNeil, who talks to God.
The Real Deal with Bess McNeil.
The Real Deal with Bess McNeil.
I'd watch that talk show. My wizard is Matilda from the movie Matilda. My ranger is Seth Gecko. Hot George Clooney with the neck tattoo from Dusk Till Dawn. My bard is Gwen Stefani from the hit band No Doubt. My fighter is Captain Stephen Hiller, who welcomes everybody to Earth. And my cleric is Frank Bannister, Michael J. Fox from The Frighteners. Ryan.
I love when any Michael J. Fox character can get drafted. You know, like when we do the year of Doc Hollywood, he is going to be the number one
That's
choice.
cleric, right? Healer.
He's
Like
Doc.
Mike.
My wizard is Bugs Bunny from Space Jam. My ranger is John Eraser from Eraser. My bard is the genie from Aladdin and the King of Thieves. My fighter is, I'm just going to say Jackie Chan from Super Cop. He's playing Jackie Chan. And my cleric is Jesse Custer from the comic book Preacher.
It's pretty good.
Pretty
Now,
good.
do we want to go position by position to say who we want, or just take them all on as a team right now? What are you gents feeling?
If we're going straight fight, I think Ryan does have the edge.
Three gods, Ryan?
Yeah.
You think he's winning?
Hold on. New nickname.
Three gods, Ryan.
It's crazy how John Eraser and Jackie Supercop are just hanging out while three gods destroy everything while these two guys just drink tea in the back.
I imagine it's going to be frustrating for Jackie Chan, who's probably has to run all the way up to people, and then John Eraser is just shooting them through walls,
Yep.
or Bugs Bunny's just appearing right behind them, or the genie is just causing them to.
There's one point where Jackie Chan does a flip and like points a mirror at a bad guy. So John Eraser can railgun that mirror and hit them, but it goes right through the mirror and Jackie Chan's head. And so that's one.
He really did that.
You read poorly.
They really shot him with a railgun.
It took 50 takes.
Well, it's clear Ryan won. Good job, Ryan.
Thanks, buddy.
Remind me next movie that you get 5 bonus points.
You are not going to believe that when he says that later, because you'll have no memory of this
and
at
you
all.
will
Like,
be
what are you
mad and
talking
give
about?
Greg 5
5
points.
bonus
You'll
points?
be like, we did this show. I'm like, I've never heard of this show with Nate. Who the fuck is Nate?
Wait, if they're action figures, why would they also be D&D? This doesn't make any sense, Ryan. You're just making this up.
All right, so let's remove my team. Now it's a 3-on-3. 1-on-1-on-1. Who now takes it home?
I have to give the advantage to Nate, who has
Yeah.
Doctor Who as his wizard, and then Michael from the movie
Nate?
Michael.
Nate has 4 unkillable characters with Doctor Who, The Crow, Homer, and Michael.
Oh, yeah. And the Crow's power set is like ultimately completely
Anything he
undefined.
wants it to be, yeah.
It is truly a little kid.
Yeah.
Being like, well, now he can do this. Fuck off.
He can do everything a crow can do. We don't talk to crows enough.
They are smart as hell.
The
Yeah.
Crows in my
They're not gonna
neighborhood
take
talk
it
to me constantly, but all they have to say is caw, and they say it a lot.
No, they're saying car because you're supposed to stop crossing against the light.
I think a lot of these teams are very, like they represent 96 well, but like in the arena, I don't know how well Gwen Stefani or Jerry Maguire is going to do.
Well, that's because you never believed in bards.
That's true.
That is true.
That's true. A lot of times the bard is like doing stuff not in the arena parts, though, right?
Yeah.
Like there's the bard
They're
maybe.
goosing everybody up beforehand.
Yeah, maybe the bard has already like bribed one of the guards or something like that.
And then they're in the audience with popcorn, watching the fight.
I did what I could do.
Good luck, guys. I'm Jerry Maguire.
They could
though.
convince the whole crowd to do the wave at a very ideal moment that's distracting.
Yeah, inspire valor, perhaps, in their team.
All right, why don't we do Greg versus Mike 1-on-1 to see who comes in third?
Cool.
Okay, well, my wizard is Firuza Balk. I think she would kill Matilda.
She snaps little Matilda's head.
Okay, and then I've got the Scream Boys versus Seth Gecko. I again think
Seth Gecko actually knows how to shoot. He kills them dead.
Okay,
right.
I guess a lot of teenagers almost killed these guys. So I guess I have to say that is true.
That's
Yeah,
1-1.
he's a hardened criminal who took down vampires.
The fight that I think all of America is demanding to see, Jerry Maguire versus Gwen Stefani, that I think is a draw. I think they fight each other until their hands are both like...
I think
and then
Gwen
they start
destroys
fucking.
him.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. With the power.
Well, because they start fucking and then she breaks his
Okay,
heart.
well, but Solo
You had me at pick it up.
is the greatest soldier of all time.
No, he pulls Will Smith's arms off.
Yeah. And
So it's 2-2.
okay, and then it's
That is crazy. That Van Dietels, what was this guy's name? You think he could take on?
Mario Van Peebles.
Meet the Deedles was a different movie from this.
He's a robot, Mike. So yes, I think he could. And then Bess
so he
McNeil
takes him.
versus Frank Bannister. I gotta go Bess McNeil.
This is,
Oh, shocking! Greg thinks his pick is.
I
gonna
gotta
win.
go with that. I gotta.
this is where it gets crazy. I think this is between me and Nate right now.
Yes.
Bess McNeil versus Frank Bannister. Where are you at, Nate?
I feel like Frank Bannister's got a lot of ghosts. I feel like there's an advantage there. I don't know.
Bess
It's-
McNeil talks to God.
Yeah.
She creates a literal miracle.
I think that she's just sitting in heaven throwing lightning bolts down.
Yeah. She's gonna point. She's gonna point.
Bells.
She's gonna point to Frank Bannister, and she's gonna be that guy's a prick.
So it's a tie. It's a tie for last place.
Yay! That's
We
what I
love
feel
it.
comfortable with.
Thank you all. All I want to do is buy action figures, play D&D, and watch movies that aren't on the bracket now. Nate, can you tell our lovely listeners who may not be familiar with you what your whole deal is?
My whole deal. Oh, wow. Well, I was born in 1981. And
You set this up, Mike. This is your fault.
That's when you debuted. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I did. I debuted then. I co-host a podcast called Debut Buddies. It's on every couple of weeks, and we talk about firsts. So we'll talk about a first album, like, say, the first album to go platinum. Talk about Lionel Richie. We talked
was?
about a first book. We talked about first movies. We talk about first, maybe women who held political office. That's what we're going to do, too. It's exciting. It's history. It's pop culture. It's fun. It's Debut Buddies.
I hope you get to do an episode about the first woman to be president.
Eve.
I'd listen to
nope,
that
it's
one.
Lilith, bitches.
This episode is probably going to come out weeks after that, and it's going to make our audience so much sadder. That sucks.
Well, Nate, thank you
Hey, thank
for
you.
joining us this evening. And you know what, Ryan and Greg, thank you too.
Hey,
as
Michael.
well. You could have all fucked me over and just not shown up, and then I'd have to, like I did as a child, play alone in my room with all my make-believe friends.
Hey,
I
Michael
didn't
from
have-
Not the Movie Michael, thank you for hosting. You did a wonderful job.
Thank you. Adjacent, I'd say, to action figures, I didn't have imaginary friends. I just pretended my friends or kids I knew from school were there with me.
Oh, my God.
Is that worse?
Aw.
That's
Like erotic
a-
friend fiction kind of situation.
quite a
was
thing
not
to say
erotic.
right at the end of the episode.
Well, I don't want anybody to be able to comment on it.
It's
will be
serpentine,
back.
so you have to bring it up next episode.
No shade
be
to
back.
fan fiction, because we now have a phrase called friend fiction, which is the saddest two words I've ever heard.
We will be back with movies next week, watching Jerry Maguire. Until then, keep playing with those action figures.